Hello, everyone. Welcome to ZapCast, a brand new season. I'm your host, Sparky. We got our second in command, Spur,
Hello, hi.
and our ship mechanic, Crimson, who we haven't seen in 3 months.
We
Extended
lost him in the
vacation.
ventilation system.
I thought it was vacation.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Ventilation vacation, both B words.
Ventilation vacation. Oh yeah.
Is that a song by Men? Is that a song by Men Without Hats or? Well, no, no.
Ventilation vacation.
Men at work.
Men at Work. Thank
Men
you.
at work.
Uh,
But yeah, Crimson, it's been a long time. How have you been?
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for asking.
We didn't ask you.
You. I mean.
I mean, okay, that kind of contradicts everything, but you know.
Welcome to Zapcast, where there are no rules. There's fountain rules. That's it. Um, but anyways, yeah. So we have a new change of pace here. For starters, Crimson is back, but we had to sacrifice Geronimo just to get him back. So yeah, there is no Geronimo for the time being. Um, little do we know, he actually has a life outside of the podcast. I know it's shocking, like something that we really lack. But we are glad to have you back, Crimson.
Thank you.
You were in the ventilation system in Norway, I believe, far off distant land called Norway.
Yes,
Or-
exactly.
How were the vents there? How was the food? Most importantly, did you eat a lot of hot dogs?
I did actually. So while I was down there, I bought like this bulk pack of natural casing hot dogs.
Yes. Is that where they have like the wrapping on them or like the skin or something?
Yeah. Where they have the skin.
Okay.
So, but the thing is, I was the only one who actually ate those specific kind of hot dogs.
Yeah.
So, just the amount of hot dogs I had to consume because of that makes me not want to eat hot dogs for at least a couple more weeks.
Oh, it's kind of like the same way when like my mom worked at like this place that had like ham and stuff, and so like daily for lunch I'd have ham sandwiches for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I still don't like eating ham. I'm just so tired of it. I ate it for 2 years like straight. I don't like it anymore.
There was
hate ham.
one time, we get our hamburger from Costco on wholesale, and it's fucking just like this giant tube of like hamburger. That's just like a couple months, maybe like.
Hamburger.
And there was one time back before I was dieting. We would have tacos like every Tuesday and Thursday, and it just got so tiring. One time, I just didn't want to upset my mom. I'm just like, Mom, I'm tired of taco, because it's just like with the hot dogs and like the ham. It's just like if I eat something for too long, I just get sick of it.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it depends on what it is.
Yeah.
And evidently, hot dogs are one of those things that.
I apparently
It's
haven't.
just hot dog has a weird texture that if I were to eat a whole bunch, I would get sick of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's essentially what happened with me. No.
With tacos, like there's all this stuff going on, and then it's not a weird texture. It's just like, oh, there's a bunch of flavors, but like I would eat like 8 of them, and I just got to the point where like every week I would have like 8 or 12 tacos, and I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't eat like 8 or 12 tacos. Maybe I should just stop eating them because I would eat so many. It's just like, ugh. And I am so sorry that you had to deal with 2 years of ham sandwiches.
Though, I don't know if we want to go on too many tangents for this episode.
Oh no. I think that tangents are fine as long as there's some meaning to them because
Okay.
I brought up the whole like, did you eat a lot of hot dogs? Because we actually had that little talk beforehand.
Yeah.
We're not gonna make it a 30-minute coleslaw spiel. So
Yeah.
anyways, the trip to Norway, how was that for you?
Overall, it went really well.
Yeah.
I was happy to be there again, and then I had to come back to the United States.
Because your fiance lives there, right?
Yeah, Norway. So
At first, I thought she was from Sweden.
you know what? That's better than what some people have thought.
Scandinavia.
Well, Norway, Sweden, Denmark.
Yeah.
That's Scandinavia. But there have been people who have said, your fiance's from Russia, right? It's like,
No.
I don't know if you were here for this, but like we used to play GeoGuessr. Yeah, you were there for GeoGuessr.
Yeah.
We get Russia so many times. We basically.
Oh God, yeah.
It's Russia is like four different things. I'm sorry for like if there's any Russian listeners out there, but Russia is either snow, city, forest, or fucking Silent Hill. I don't know why.
That one place we went to was the fog was like 2 feet in front of the camera.
It's just like,
You couldn't see anything.
we didn't even know where we were, so we just like randomly guessed. Like, yeah, this is probably like I don't know, like the U.S. or something, and I just got us like to fucking Russia, like in a place that has like no like names or anything on it, no road lines or anything. It's just kind of there.
See,
Like
There's
some
no-
off the beaten path road with this creepy ass house.
And there's like, and
Fuck.
then there was like I think we did guess Russia because we saw like a broken statue of Lenin or something.
We
Like,
saw
this is-
something really eerie by the house. It was awful. It was the worst place, but it was funny as hell. Because it was
Yeah.
just spooky. You don't expect to just see that. You had to think the Google Earth guys had to drive a car that passed that down that street. Like,
I would be
God.
uneasy.
I'd be scared as heck. Props to them.
Yeah. But yeah. When I first met your fiance Lucky,
yeah.
I thought she was Swedish. I know that's like a stretch, but like I don't know. I mean, IKEA or what's Norway known for? Isn't Norway known for
Heavy
chocolate,
metal.
right? Heavy metal, that's right. No, chocolate's Sweden, right?
To be honest, well, I actually haven't had Swedish chocolate, but
Aren't they known for their
Norway's-
chocolate, or is that Norway?
Norway's known for the chocolate too. I don't know. I guess it's kind of just.
It's just
general,
that general area.
Yeah, I guess in general, Scandinavian chocolate is. It's pretty fucking good chocolate, unless you talk to a Brit, then they're gonna urge you that Cadbury chocolate is the best fucking chocolate in the world.
So. Okay, yeah. 'Cause when I met Lucky the first time, I thought she was Swedish, and you said it was Norway, and I don't know why, but like I could never remember that.
A lot of people.
You never hear Norway. You hear like Sweden and you hear like Finland, but you never hear Norway. Maybe like for metal, but like that's it.
It's because Norway is independent from the EU, probably.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
You know, if it's like they unless something really significant happens, they just kind of are like, don't worry about that.
Are there any aside from metal? Are there any like? Isn't wait? Aha, aren't they Norwegian?
Yes, they are actually.
Okay, yeah. So I got that. That's like the only other thing I know of from them. And did you say that she's coming down here to the U.S.? Are you gonna immigrate here or something like that?
yeah, without going into too much detail,
Yeah.
because otherwise we're going to be here talking about this for a half hour or whatever.
Yeah.
So initially I wanted to move to Norway, but the thing is, my only option to immigrate over there was for work. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, with me being a U.S. citizen, Norway's kind of weird if you're not a European citizen. So with me being American, I would have had to go to work for like twice as long. I would have to have twice as much work experience than what I already do in order to immigrate there under a work visa.
Yeah.
So it was kind of that we, at the very least, we're going to apply for a K1 visa and get her the green card. And then from there, we both might, since we'll be married and she's going to work here for a few years, we might just decide to get dual citizenship for U.S. and Norway. So that way we can live in either country.
Yeah, I think that would be more suitable. Now, are you still trying to get used to the time here since you've been gone for so long, or is it more of like something you're kind of used to by now?
Well, to be honest, I've always adjusted to the time zones easily, but that's mainly because I don't typically sleep very well on planes. So by the time regardless of where whether I'm traveling to or from Norway,
Yeah.
I'm just so fucking tired by the time I actually get to a bed that I pass out until the next morning. So
I don't know how I would act on a plane because I've never been anywhere.
yeah.
I honestly don't ever really sleep, so I feel like I could adjust to time zones pretty much perfectly.
Yeah.
But like, there are places I want to go. There's places I want to see, but like, it's just I don't see myself being a traveling type of person. I don't know. It's just like there's just something about traveling that I really like, but like I could just look it up on the internet. It's just a weird thing where just like I want to go places. That means money, and like I just don't have the motivation to save up for a trip because I feel like it's just a waste of money. Like I'd rather like spend my money on something I could use, where like I could have a worthwhile thing. I mean, I know a trip can be worthwhile, but like I just don't see myself being that motivated to spend like half a grand on plane tickets for 3 days, maybe a month. No, not a month. Maybe like a week, 3 days, or something just to come back. I mean, sure, I'll be seeing a lot of things. I'll be like, I could. It would really help with my photography career I want to do, but like, I just, I just don't get the whole point of vacationing. I guess because I mean, sure, you're getting away from home. That can be a good thing, but like, what if your house or is like your personal haven? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How would you like deal with vacationing if your own house, your neighborhood maybe even is like your own safe haven? Because that's kind of like my situation.
Yeah. I mean, that's completely understandable. I see. I feel like if you have an opportunity of traveling, you should take it up. But
Yeah.
I'm also not saying that you should, you know, literally go and see everything there is to see in the world. I mean, even I don't want to do that. Sure, there are specific places I want to go in the world, but it's not like I'm gonna travel to, you know, the end of every single country to see what they have. But and I guess, you know, ultimately when I do go to Norway, I'm never really that far from home because
I mean, you have people welcoming you,
yeah,
and
I
you get to
guess
stay with your fiance. So I mean, you're not really like you have that personal haven.
yeah,
It's like the place like I mean, there's a difference between going to like Maryland or Massachusetts and seeing you guys, than compared to wanting to go to Italy, which I do want to go to. You know, I've memorized all the streets, all like the famous attractions. I've memorized all that. You know, but like it's a difference between going to Italy and not knowing anybody and feeling like, could I get like no offense to anyone in Italy or anything, like, oh, I'm afraid like, oh, I might die or something there. That's kind of one another. But compared to like, you know, like going to see one of you guys, I know you guys, you know, and you guys would be willing to like greet, like, you know, you guys will greet me, you guys will give me shelter, and you guys would like, you know, show me around. In Italy, it's just like I'm by myself. I don't know where I am, except I probably will know where I am, you know. And it's just everything's a new experience. To granted, both places are new experiences, but it's just like I don't know where I'm going with this, but like I feel like if I were to go out of the country, it would just be a completely new world than seeing one of you guys in the U.S. Because like the U.S., I mean, sure, all 50 states are different, but like you kind of like know, you have that sense. I don't know what it is, how you pronounce it, but it's got that type of sense where like you're unfamiliar territory, but like you feel all right,
yeah,
like
yeah,
your sense of home. Like with you in Norway, it's you have people there who like who basically are your family in a sense.
that's
So
very true.
you feel like you're at home. And if I were to visit with you guys, I would feel like I'm at home. So I guess that's just why I don't really want to travel, because like it's just stressful. Yeah, it's just so stressful.
Yeah.
True.
So
We could talk about the Oscars. I'd never watched it, but I've heard a lot of the news about it.
oh god,
Um,
I actually know nothing about this year's Oscars because
Black Panther won 3 awards. Into the Spider Verse beat Disney's 6-year streak of Best Animated Feature.
oh damn,
Lady Gaga and I don't know the name of the other guy had a very intimate performance for some song, I think called "Shallow." I remember. Rami Malek, is that how you say his name? The guy who played Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody.
oh yeah, okay,
He had a very cringy speech, and then he fell off the stage right after. Um, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't like him, so I just said that the speech was cringy because it was just very awkward. It was a very awkward speech, but I get that like he was kind of nervous for receiving the award, but like it's just I don't really like him. Um, and I think the Into the Spider Verse director tried honoring Stan Lee and Steve Ditko,
mm-hmm.
but they were cut off.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
all I know. I never watched it though, but this is the stuff I heard. I did see the only thing I've seen from the whole Oscars was just fucking Into the Spider Verse.
Mhm.
That's the only thing I've seen recently. And that was a good movie. I think that did. I think that did deserve. Was it Oscar or Emmys? Sorry.
Pretty sure it was the it had to have been the Oscars because if things were that big of a deal, because the Emmys are for TV, not films. So
Okay, so the Emmys are for TV, the Grammys are for music, and then the Oscars are for movies.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, a lot of the Oscar winners were movies I didn't even know existed. The only ones that I recognized to my knowledge were Bohemian Rhapsody, which won like pretty much all the categories. Um, Bohemian Rhapsody, Black Panther, and Into the Spider Verse. Those are the only ones I knew about. The other ones, I think they were like indie films and stuff, and I just didn't know what they were. Um, yeah, it's just never something I really watched.
to be fair, that was or to be fair, that's typically how the Oscars go.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you see the ad campaign for Lego Movie 2? One of the ad campaigns. There was one where they had the first Lego Movie in its entirety as an ad,
oh yeah. Okay, I
and then
saw
there
that
was a
one.
second one where there's a song from Lego Movie 2 called "The Sun Will Get Stuck in Your Head" or something like that,
Hmm.
and they had it playing an ad for 5 hours. And at the very end, they actually bother putting a title card that, like an end card that says "See it in theaters February 8th" or something like that. And someone on Tumblr tortured themselves by sitting through it for all 5 hours and doing updates. It's so fucking funny.
My God.
But yeah, I think that's just a marvelous ad campaign.
Yeah, it is because I mean they're no other film could really get away with doing something like that.
No, unless it's like Deadpool or something.
Yeah,
I feel like Chris Pratt came up with the ideas because you know how Chris Pratt is. I feel like
yeah,
because like the thing with Chris Pratt is that when he plays in movies, he's just acting as himself. So I feel like that this is something that he thought of
hmm
would be a good idea to do. See, because he was in the ad for the first Lego movie in its entirety. He's like, enjoy this movie, enjoy this ad, you know. I feel like he had some sort of influence on these like ads and promotions.
yeah.
Like, I don't know who else could have thought of that except for him.
I mean, I just imagine all these executives sitting in the boardroom and asking, "How are we going to advertise the second Lego movie?" Chris Pratt just bursts open the doors like, "I've got a couple ideas," and they just said, "Fuck it, let's roll with it."
Yeah. And there we go with the swearing. We're already gonna get demonetized. I'm kidding. We're not monetized. Have you heard of that cheeky crap that just came out recently where YouTubers can get less ads or no ads at all depending on the comments,
Oh, yeah, and
all because of some pedophile ring that was on YouTube. Like, what's up with pedophiles like ruining all social media platforms? Like, remember Swap Note on the Nintendo 3DS? Anyone?
Swap Note or Flip Note?
Swap Note.
No,
It was Swap Notes was a thing where you could like send messages and drawings and stuff to people nearby or your friends on your 3DS friends list.
oh, okay, yeah. Now I know what you're talking
And
about.
it got shut down because pedophiles were using it to lure kids.
So kind of like TikTok.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just I don't get what's up with pedophiles just ruining all social media for people. It's just fucking insane. Like it's like, people like Good Mythical Morning stuff. They probably won't get affected because their like fan base is really tame, you know.
Yeah.
But then you have like Rice Gum, PewDiePie, and all that type of stuff. Those big names in their fan bases, and they're going to say like very inappropriate and controversial things, and that's just going to make them like lose revenue. I mean, sure, there's Patreon and stuff, but Patreon is an optional thing. It's like people can choose to subscribe to you. Google Ads is something that you can place in your videos, and as long as they're being watched, you get money off. So you're losing that guaranteed revenue, and it's gonna screw over YouTubers that barely get any money. So
Yeah, and
it's all just stupid.
Yeah,
I understand that there's no way to like check every individual comment to make sure it's safe, and I know that there is like having a artificial intelligence like that would just mess it up. So I get that
Kinda like
removing
Tumblr.
comments, yeah, like Tumblr, would just mess everything up. Like, so I get that removing comments is the only way to solve it, but it just still annoys me that like this is the only way that certain YouTubers are getting the money. The only way they can still get money is if they just disable comments.
Yeah. And
So
unfortunately, disabling comments doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah. Some people, like, comment section is a nice place to have.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just, it's a really, they wanted to fix a problem, and then they thought the first thing that popped into their head, they took action on without stopping to think. Like, wait, hold up, what if this is a bad idea?
Well, the problem with YouTube is that they always like come up with these solutions that just confuse the general public.
Yeah.
Not.
It's like one random guy was like, let's do this, and they're like, let's do the first idea that popped into our heads. Good idea, guys. Let's not think about it and just take action.
I'm trying to think.
Like,
There was
come
another
on,
instance.
what
It was
the fuck?
There was something like. I think it was some like the YouTube like it was like a YouTube tutorial service. They introduced it, and they would have like. Okay, I'm trying to remember how it went, but I think it was something along the lines of
Trying to cheat.
you could get YouTubers to help you, like teach
Oh.
you videos, and then like
Yeah.
make money. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
how it went. Can you better describe it? Can you describe?
Man. Well, I mean, I just remember seeing ads for it before YouTube videos, because there'd be this one guy that's just like, hi, I'm insert famous YouTuber here.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he's working with like kids to get them on YouTube and get into the whole YouTuber career path or whatever. Speaking of which, I mean, with how, well, I mean, this kind of circles back to earlier in the conversation. YouTube is definitely kind of crushing their own content creators, because eventually, unless you're kind of like you said, unless you're Good Mythical Morning or Shane Dawson or something like that, odds are you're going to be screwed over by YouTube's algorithm.
I'm trying to remember the service thing. It was something that YouTube tried out, but like it just no one really liked it. I'm going through. Okay, here we go. YouTube Heroes controversy. Thank you. Know your name. YouTube Heroes is a program introduced by YouTube offering rewards and incentives to users who contribute to the site by providing subtitles of videos, moderating comments, and reporting videos for violating the terms service. The program was met with a large backlash from content creators and the YouTube community, who predicted that rewarding users for mass flagging videos would promote censorship and lead to false strikes against videos and channel takedowns.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
Okay. Yeah, what I was thinking was totally different.
It's yeah. Sorry, you were saying.
No, just with everything that YouTube's doing, if things don't change for the better, they're kind of going to shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if people keep being demonetized in that, they're going to search elsewhere.
But the problem is, what else is there to use? I mean, there's Vimeo, yeah, sure, but like, and there's Dailymotion, but do people really go on those?
No, because
Not really, no.
YouTube is that like one option that we have, and that's it.
yeah,
I mean, hell, for the longest time, like content creators who wanted to talk about like dark and gritty stuff, like Rob Dyke, and like Chills, for example, they couldn't talk about that type of stuff because YouTube found it like they thought it would win against the terms of service when they were just trying to educate people.
yeah,
It's just like YouTube is just so weird with its terms of service. It's kind of like Twitch streamers, you know?
yeah,
It's just what's okay to do and what's not okay to do. They banned guns, gun videos. They thankfully banned anti-vax channels,
yeah.
But like, what's the point of freedom of speech
Mm-hmm.
when we can't even do that? How can someone get away with tasing rats and taking selfies with a dead body, but we can't post a video about a makeup tutorial or how to safely secure your gun in your house or something?
Right.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And
Me
now
neither.
now we can't even swear. The bots pick up swears. It automatically demonetizes you. If you want YouTube to be such a kid-friendly site, a family-friendly site, do something about YouTube Kids.
Yeah.
YouTube Kids was infected by that whole Elsa Gate thing, and it still is. Vaguely. It's not a huge deal anymore, but it's still there. The Peppa Pig videos are still there. The Mickey Mouse Baby Dead in Gas Explosion video is still there. And they won't even do anything with it. When I was expecting YouTube Kids, I was expecting seeing like Sesame Street, Garfield Show, I don't know, weird kids shows.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was not expecting to see Mickey Mouse Baby Dead in Gas Explosion, for example. And it's just weird how they want to make the site kid friendly, but they don't even do anything about the kid friendly section.
And
I feel like if you're going to make it kid friendly, like first focus on trying to help your content creators, your driving force of the site, who make their living, like Monkey Jones, removed from YouTube entirely, can never come back. But you had like pedophile rings, anti-vax channels still on there. But a guy who did a documentary about Elliot Rogers and didn't even support Elliot Rogers, mind you. He wanted to educate people about him and how and why you shouldn't be a person like him.
exactly.
A guy who to work for YouTube and pay his bills with YouTube, can't even do that anymore. And it just doesn't make sense to me.
Social media as a whole is kind of getting to a weird point.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like I kind of want to get rid of Facebook, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's the only way I have contacting people.
So, funny story about that. I fully agree with this. So, Um, when you were still in Norway, we got hit by a massive snowstorm, polar vortex.
Oh yeah, I was over here too.
Yeah, the whole U.S., the Pacific Northwest in California, and in Oregon, all of them they got hit last. We got hit with the leftovers. We had 12 inches of snow here.
Jesus Christ.
I couldn't leave my house, and on top of that, I didn't have internet for a week and a half. Internet, cable, phone service. So I had to. Thankfully, my friends who lived across the street from me,
Yeah.
I was able to go to the house and feed off of their Wi-Fi and their food and their cable, and their phone service.
Jesus.
I spent practically a week and a half there because I mean I would go back to my house, but there was a lot of times where it was so dangerous to walk out that I just slept there, you know. And during that time, I was very depressed. I couldn't really talk to anyone because you know everyone is on the internet. I couldn't talk to Nick, sorry, Spur, or just go, you know.
Yeah, fine with whatever.
So I couldn't talk to Nick, and you know I couldn't talk to Geronimo. I couldn't talk to you really.
Yeah.
And I when I had the free time, I was just really depressed. You know, things were going on in my life. I decided to just get rid of Facebook. I had it gone for a week, maybe a week and a half.
Mhm.
But I brought it back because there's just no other way I can really talk to people.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, Messenger does not. You still have a Messenger like profile. When you deactivate your Facebook account, you still have Messenger. You cannot get rid of Messenger, you know, unless you delete your account. So, or I think you can just have a Messenger account without having a Facebook. But I just didn't want to. Like, there's really no way I can keep in contact with anyone because no one texts me except for my friends across the street and my mom. And you know, everyone's on Snapchat and Facebook and Discord. I can't talk to anyone. I can't talk to anyone in real life without contacting through them on these platforms first. So
Yeah.
it's just one of the things. I'm so tired of social media. I'm tired of it. I'd rather be on Discord or Steam all day than look at my newsfeed. But it's so hard when if I were to get rid of those things, I can't socialize with people.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Facebook and Twitter and that has kind of like wedged themselves into our everyday life where it's I mean it's normal these days to have those things, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just sometimes I wish I never actually created a Facebook account.
Yeah.
But you know, I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
Everyone else had one.
Yeah. It's
So-
exactly why I made one. And now
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have it, and I go back every 5 months to update my icon with some meme.
I made you use it. I made you get a Facebook like in 2012.
Yeah, and yeah.
I'm so sorry. About
God. I would, I don't even look at it anymore. Like, I'll open Facebook occasionally, like I said, to change my icon. Like sometimes you'll DM me, Bill Burr. Hey, a couple of friends and I are gonna be changing our icon to Lego Star Wars icons. In November.
Yeah.
You should do that. And I'm like, okay, sure. That's all I do on
that was like the month of November. I wanted everyone to change. I wanted a whole bunch of friends to change their icons to Lego Star Wars, like the character selection icons. It was so fun. We got like 12 people to do it. It was so fun. But yeah, it sucks because I have unlimited texting, unlimited calling, but no one texts.
Mm-hmm. You know, even the friends that I have in this area who have my phone number,
Yeah,
they'd rather contact me through Facebook instead of my actual phone number.
exactly. Or they'll contact me through Discord or Snapchat.
I don't even
And-
know how. I don't even know Geronimo's fucking number. I just know his Discord.
And you know him in real life.
Contact.
So I mean,
No, but like still, like that's how we talk. We talk through Discord.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
I only use Snapchat because I have a school friend who never uses Facebook. Two of them actually, and one of them refuses outright to get a Facebook. And they won't give me their numbers either. I'm like, I really don't like using Snapchat. Can I please just have your number? And then like they're like, no, it's so easier to contact me through here. I'm like, I don't like using this app, you know? Like I rather okay. I say this because like I will get rid of an app for a few weeks and then I'll come back to it because it's just like, oh fuck, I can't talk anymore.
Yeah.
Like Discord is the only app I'll consider keeping, and Steam. You know, those are the two apps. Scruffy, you know him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any social media at all. He has never, well, he had a Facebook when he was a little kid, but he never used it. So the only way I can contact him is either I go over to his house right now and knock on his door, see if he's home, or two, Steam.
Yeah.
And even then, he's not on Steam for like 6 months. So, chances of actually contacting him is very slim. So I have to keep Steam because it's Steam. I'd rather have Steam than any other type of gaming service. But it's just kind of sad that like, God, like what my past few relationships,
Mm-hmm.
they were one of them was long distance, one was pretty like it wasn't really long distance. It was more like it was pretty close, but both of them use Skype, and I don't like using Skype.
Ugh.
Discord's a better thing now, right?
Yeah.
Skype just is so slow for me,
Oh.
and it's just the way that we would talk is through Skype, and I just like I don't like Skype. I don't. You know?
Yeah. See, I never really liked Skype because of, well, at least in my experience, Skype just like eats your RAM.
Oh yeah.
And man, I don't know if you guys ever used it, but for a little while I used TeamSpeak.
I tried it. I just did not like it. I know
No,
that's like a heathen thing to say, but like I just could not figure out how TeamSpeak worked.
Oh,
I never got it.
I figured out how it worked, but still I just did not like using it, and it was kind of like because I would have friends on Skype, but then there was also this Minecraft server that we were on. But when we wanted to talk to the people that were also on the server, we had to move to TeamSpeak, and I actually preferred Skype over TeamSpeak. So it's like when we had to move to TeamSpeak, it's like But when everyone got Discord, it's like, yeah, now I have to switch apps, and I actually really like Discord because
I was really hesitant because I Spur and I used to talk Steam voice chat. Well, actually, I think our first voice chat was through Skype, actually, and we used Skype a lot for private calls. But then we would also use Steam, because at the time Skype was just terrible whenever I tried playing Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
And so we would use Steam. And when Discord came out, Spur told me about it, and I was really hesitant at first because I'm like, it's not going to work on my computer. For a short while, it just didn't want to work, but now I just never want to go back. I never want to go back to Skype or anything like that. It's funny how that works.
Yeah. The only way I would go back to Skype is if Discord, came out and said, guys, we're shutting down the service, things, blah, 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 blah. Whatever reason, that would be the only reason why I would go back to Skype, would be if Discord completely went down the toilet.
Yeah. Honestly, like the whole thing of my past relationships, as I just hope that the next relationship I'm in, it don't make me want to use Skype. They have
Yeah.
Discord. It's just going to be a-okay for me. You know, I don't have to update Skype because I haven't touched it in 6 months or more. You know, God. But anyway, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna read some articles and talk about other things that are on our mind. So we'll play this music track. It is it's the main title theme to Supremacy with the C64. Enjoy. Do you guys have any shows you guys grew up with in your childhood?
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
talking like SpongeBob or like the big ones like SpongeBob Fair Parents. I mean like
Listen.
Listen.
When I was a kid, I watched the best show,
you know
Oswald.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
Oh
the
my
best
God.
thing. That was my favorite show when I was a kid. I loved it.
So
I woke up in the morning, it was like 7 a.m. I'm like, all right,
7 a.m.
turn
Yeah.
it on,
It was
not
actually 8 a.m. I think.
turn it on
uh,
noggin. Gotta watch that dang Oswald.
Fucking noggin. Yes.
Turn it on noggin.
so
Uh,
I just
Oswald.
speaking of Oswald, I I feel like I've talked about this before, but I don't remember if I actually said it in a podcast episode or if it was just a conversation we were having. But I remember there was, I think my older brother or sister had a homework question about
Mhm.
JFK,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
they
Oh.
asked they asked who killed JFK, and then my mom says it was Oswald, and well, see,
And
when I was young like that, I didn't know who JFK was, but I knew what killing was, and I I just thought of Oswald the Octopus with a fucking gun, because that was the only Oswald that I knew. So
yeah,
You're like, Oswald wouldn't kill anybody.
yeah,
When I was a kid, I occasionally grew up on. I know it was occasionally Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, of course. But like the main thing that I grew up on was British and Canadian television. I don't know why. We just kind of had the channels. We had HBO, of course, too. I grew up on I Spy, Paddington Bear, Jane and the Dragon, Jacob Tutu. Um, let's see here, Babar. Loved Babar. I mean, of course, I also had like Scooby Doo and stuff. Scooby Doo was like the show I loved as a kid.
man.
I had also Disney shows. But like I remember coming home, graduated from elementary school, setting my backpack in my room, going to my mom's room, going onto her computer while she's making dinner, logging into Club Penguin, Cubo, which was this broadcasting service. I think it's still around, but you have to pay for it. Would be on every Friday afternoon.
Mhm.
And it would show Jacob Tutu, Jenny the Dragon, Babar, stuff like that, Veggie Tales. And I would watch that while playing Club Penguin and then having mac and cheese with fish sticks for dinner. That was my Friday after. That's it. You know.
You know,
Yeah. Hmm?
if we're talking about um, shows when we were younger, do you guys remember Zoom that was on the PBS?
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Okay. So it was Canadian cartoons, British cartoons, and PBS. That was like my child. I had Scooby Doo and I had Nicktoons and Disney, but it was just Disney was more reserved for the weekends.
Yeah.
When PBS wasn't really on, to my knowledge. But it was those and Noggin. Yeah, like it's weird because you know the shows I watched as a kid, they taught how to use different vernacular. They taught actual like real life situations. They taught you how to read, how to do math. Cyber Chase taught math. Wishbone taught you how to read. Word Girl, Wishbone was the shit.
Yeah.
Word Girl, Martha Speaks taught you how to use different vernacular and vocabulary. Upside Down Show taught you how to use your imagination. Um, let's see here. Little Bill and Caillou dealt with real issues, like having younger siblings, divorce, stuff like that, which were heavy things. Sesame Street did all of that and more. But I mean, Sesame Street still goes on. They just recently did an episode about a homeless, puppet.
Yeah.
And it did another one with a puppet with autism, which I really wish they did more of that type of stuff as growing up, because I feel like being autistic myself, people don't really get what autism is.
Yeah.
And judge people for that. But that's a whole other topic. I recently, so I have a dog, in TV just comps. So sometimes we put on cartoons for her, or like shows for younger kids, and it just calms her, you know.
Yeah.
And I was watching Paw Patrol or something with her. I just didn't get like I just didn't get it. Like it was I don't think it was Paw Patrol, but it was a show that on Disney Channel, or sorry, Disney Junior, which used to be Playhouse Disney, which is also used to be the shit. But Disney Junior, I don't remember what the show it was, but like it was just nonstop like flashing lights, yelling, jumping around. It was very energized, And I'm
Yeah.
like, do they do this so they keep the kids' attention? Do they think that the kids aren't going to be entertained for long enough? Because I was watching it and just like, what is there to learn here? It's basically a show that's hyped up on sugar,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm like, what is there to learn here? There's no messages about sharing or like divorce or like, I mean, I probably wouldn't expect that to be for divorce, but sharing, having younger siblings, teaching how to use math or different words, using your imagination, or dealing how to like help people, stuff like that. You don't see any of that in a lot of shows nowadays, and I don't get it. So we got a couple articles here, and Crimson will be reading the first one, if you may so please.
Indeed.
What?
All right. So
This is our
Budweiser.
this is our segment called Peculiar Gazette, where we read strange articles found off the internet. There you go, Crimson.
All right.
Sorry.
So, Budweiser arrested for trespassing at Budweiser Brewery. God, that's a hard word for me to say. So, this is an older article from 2015, but it's a pretty entertaining read. So, in St. Louis, Missouri, the brewery got an unwanted visit from a man with a familiar moniker. Budweiser, 19, was placed under arrest for trespassing at the Budweiser Brewery located at 9th and Arsenal in St. Louis. Police say that Weiser entered a secured area of the brewery after 6 p.m. on Thursday. Security officers told him to leave and call the police after an altercation. Weiser was taken into police custody. He was issued summonses for trespassing and resisting arrest. This is not Budweiser's first run-in with the law. He snuck into a gas station in August 2014. Police saw him climbing out of a shattered window in the 900 block of LeMay Ferry Road. Weiser escaped after a chase. Police found evidence that linked Weiser to the break-in. DNA matched blood found at the scene. He turned himself in and was charged in December 2014. So that one was relatively short. So yeah, it is more or less just some kid with a with his name Budweiser breaks into the Budweiser beer brewery.
So I'm going to read the second article here. No, I do not want to have notifications. This is from Newsweek. This is from 2 days ago. Titled "Humpback Whale Discovered in Amazon Jungle in Wildlife Mystery That Has Scientists Baffled." Biologists are trying to solve the mystery of how the carcass of a humpback whale ended up in the Amazon jungle. The mammal was found in the Marajo Island of Brazil, about 50 feet from the ocean shore. The team of biologists from the Bico d'Agua, I probably butchered that, Institute posted pictures of the whale, reported to be a 12-month-old calf, onto social media. In a statement posted on Facebook along with the photos, the Bico d'Agua Institute explained that the whale was not an adult animal and not as big as it looks in the images. The Maritime Herald suggested that the whale may have died after ingesting plastics from the ocean before being swept along by the waves into the ocean to the jungle shore. Renita Imen, a marine specialist, told Brazilian news site O Liberal, we're still not sure how it landed here, but we're guessing that the creature was floating close to the shore and the tide, which has been pretty considerable over the past few days, picked it up and threw it inland into the mangrove. Along with this astonishing feat, we are baffled as to what a humpback whale is doing on the north coast of Brazil during February because this is a very unusual occurrence. The municipal Secretariat of Health, Sanitation and Environment (SEMA) is investigating why the mammal was so far away from its natural habit at this time of the year. We believe this is a calf, which may have been just traveling with its mother and probably got lost or separated during the migratory cycle between the two continents, Eamon said. Darlene Silva, a spokesperson from SEMA, told Brazilian media that they found the whale after it caught the attention of scavenger birds. The vultures were spotted circling above the carcass, which was found hidden in the bush some distance from the sea, Silva said, according to the Mirror. Not testing to determine the whale's cause of death is expected to take 10 days. This is not the first time a whale has been found in the Amazon rainforest, as ABC News reported. In 2007, a minke whale measuring more than 18 feet was found stranded on a sandbar off the Amazon River near the city of Santarém, about 1,000 miles from the Atlantic Ocean. The whale eventually managed to free itself and swim to safety. And that's pretty much it for the article. I can send you image. I think this is of the dead one, so you can get a more visual representation.
Yeah.
It just amazes me.
It's kind of crazy to think that. I mean, yeah, it definitely does kind of baffle you as to what a whale does 50 feet from the shore. I mean, oh wait,
no, you go.
Never mind.
I don't even know what I was going to say. You go.
No, what I'm saying is 50 feet's actually not that far of a walk.
No.
For some reason,
But still,
Whales can't really walk. A whale can't just get up out of the ocean and be like, I'm gonna walk around or something.
Nah, but you know what I mean.
Got you there, Crimson. I don't know. I don't know how you can recover from that.
What did you?
You know what
Facts.
I learned marine biology from SpongeBob, so
I think I know a thing or two about whale walking, dingus. They have feet. I've seen it.
Another episode of ZapCast. We hope you guys were as eager as us to return to our to the podcast, and now that Crimson is back, we will try to post every week, hopefully. Until then, this is Commander Sparky signing out. Oh wait,
yeah.
Before we go, remember to like our Facebook page if you haven't, and if you like the podcast, be sure to share it with people. We'd love to have a larger audience.
Hit that subscribe button and hit on that little bell to turn notifications on.
Yeah, it's Commander Sparky signing off. Peace.
Hey, you. So you're finally awake.